Hello, welcome to my channel, WingSpiritualClarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing the daily checkity check, checking in on the energies of the day, asking the divine and our higher selves, anybody who's watching this reading, what type of help, guidance, messages to help us along our path to becoming more of ourselves. Ooh, I like that intention. Did I just do a little like self pat myself on the back? Sure, why not? All right. Anahata Kali, number 33. I really dig when I get multiple repetitive, that's the word I'm looking for, repetitive numbers. All right, 33, Anahata Kali. This has a real stone type of energy, structural. Interesting. All right, let's see how Kali can guide and help us with our daily checkity check. Beautiful, powerful mother of the sacred universal heart, who lives within our hearts as the wisdom and healing power of love. Your heart knows how to heal and how to open, how to break and repair itself to become stronger and wiser than before. Your heart cannot be contained or constrained by what has taken place. Your heart wisdom and empowerment are growing. Soon you shall have the wisdom and courage to accomplish something very important for your soul journey. Trust in the invisible workings of divine love. Let your heart be at peace. Wow, that really hit me. That of how powerful the heart is, that it can heal itself. It can go through great trauma, woundedness, breaking, and being put back together. I think this is a beautiful reminder from Anahata Kali that that maybe it isn't about treating our heart like a very expensive doll and putting it up on a shelf. You know, it's a very expensive doll. We can even look at it, but you can't play with it because you might break it. And instead have a more of a velveteen rabbit type of scenario with your heart, that wearing it in and breaking it and repairing it and breaking it and repairing it is part of the journey, that it can handle that. That's a beautiful belief. Wow. All right. Feel very inspired by that reminder. Beautiful. All right. Head in the game, Wendy. Head in the game. Okay, let's get on to the reading now. So this is a general reading, so I'm not tuning into one person's specific energies. I'm tuning into whoever's tuning into this reading whenever. There's no time and space. So whenever you're drawn to this, even though it is a daily check, it's the right time. All right. So in the past, there's this energy of wishes coming true. 9 of Cups. Satisfaction. Fulfillment. Boy, the satisfaction is really coming through. This is like, we did it. I'd have a banner, we did it, behind me. But really actually meaning we did it. All right, so we did it. Love that energy. It looks like finding satisfaction, finding that we did it energy is after breaking out of a usual way of being, a repetitive, stuck way of being, choosing a different route, leaving the comfortable. I think you might have stayed stuck in a past routine, out of fear that of your limitations, fear that how others perceive you might be accurate. Seems like in the past you might have been stuck in grieving the old cycle, grieving a cycle that was familiar. There's a stuckness to that old cycle, but I think that there's some type of comfort in familiarity that feels like it kept you stuck. And there's also a feeling that you had outgrown energetically that cycle. And it has a feel of like a child leaving the nest, a bird leaving the nest, I guess. And maybe even feeling kicked out of the nest, that you don't belong in that cycle any longer. And there's some type of, even if it wasn't a very enjoyable cycle, if it was full of repetitive energies that were frustrating and you couldn't work through, you couldn't change, feels like an exhaustive trying to create change in a cycle that does not invite the type of expansion and change that you're looking for. But at least it's familiar. At least you know how to deal with the loneliness and the separation and the anxieties and the fears that come with it. And you've figured out ways to exist. I feel like it got so uncomfortable because now it's pushing you out. You're not even welcome to exist there because your energy is just you're at a different vibration. I can see this, it just doesn't match. And so you have to, just by your personal core energetic signature, energy, vibrational signature, you're a better match for something else. We've got a lot of beliefs on this, in this world, about what things mean, what they look like, how they are perceived by others, and how we hook into that. And that made it difficult to leave because it felt like an ego hit as well. So, wow. All right. Well, I'm curious. So it feels like, since this started with the 9 of Cups, that really what we were seeking is wish fulfillment. What I'm getting, what the impetus for all of this was, an extreme amount of desire for change, to manifest. your satisfaction, to have dreams coming true. And that desire, as you start cultivating and attracting more energy for what you wanted, what does not match, what is in resistance to your wishes, your dreams coming true, that satisfaction had to fall away. And because it's not a match, the people, the situations, the experiences. And then there's also been experiences that have happened to help you continue to choose a different type of energy. So a different way of being. This does have an energy, a little bit of an energy signature of be careful what you wish for. But it's kind of feels like a joke from the universe. You wanting to be more you wanting more satisfaction in such a strong and repetitive way, asking for this from the universe. Finally, there was like a tipping point, and you had to start releasing all your beliefs and all the energies around you that are holding you from your own satisfaction. No one was holding you from your satisfaction other than beliefs that your satisfaction came through others and situations. And so you're teaching yourself a new way of being, a more authentic way of being. This is very empowering. It is also really painful. This, I would call this shadow work and ascension. There's a lot of momentum that you had in a way of being, a lot of momentum that kept you stuck. And I'm also getting that there's some type of light. Feel like the judgment card coming up. There was some kind of internal calling. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. You've been living in a dream, maybe a little bit of a nightmare. It's time to wake up. This isn't real. Remember who you are. You've got all that you need within you. All your answers are within. Something like that. Alrighty. So in current energy, today's energy, whenever you are seeing this video, is Page of Cups. An offering of love, some type of emotional offering. Something unexpected. It's not every day you see a fish in a cup. Maybe a little silly. Maybe feeling a little lighthearted. I like this guy. Today I like this guy because he is just the most. He is being himself. I mean, look at that hat. Is that a hat? Look at that. I mean, how many people can pull off this outfit? I feel like I want to know this person because they're like fearlessly themselves. Sometimes I don't read this card this way, but I am today. So it's an offering from someone who is fearlessly themselves. They stand out. They're they might be viewed as a little immature or silly, but they make you laugh. And I think that's a gift, not like a clown, but someone who lightens the mood. Oh, okay. This silly person, and I mean silly in the best way. I mean someone who their energy, maybe this is something for some of you, this might be someone outside of you. And for some of you, this might be an energy within. You know what I mean? That silliness, that childlike energy of when you would dress up and be extra, like super extra, and it just felt so good to be someone else, be another aspect of yourself. That's really what dressing up and pretending to be, you know. And that's so for some of you, it might be someone external, but I think for most of us, this is an internal person who is willing to be yourself, to expect something unexpected. Sure, a fish in a cup. Why not? It worked for the cat in the hat. This is someone who knows how to work with their emotions and see some humor in it. To humor energy lightens things up. It really helps raise your vibration. You might be at a steady vibration, and then you get something funny, and it just, you're like, oh my God, and it lightens your energy so you can, so whatever was serious can release what's not for you, and beautiful energy of some sense of humor, some lightness, some a new, fresh way of being yourself, and willing to look extra because it's you. You're matching you. And what I'm seeing in this current energy is you choosing yourself. You're not an option. You're not putting yourself as an option. That how others perceive you is more important than how you perceive yourself. How you perceive yourself, how you choose to show up boldly as yourself without needing to justify or prove who you are. Just, this is, I aming. This is me. This is how I am. But I think there's something about the energies in this current energy that you really showing up as yourself, as fully yourself, not just allowing yourself to be, it's going to cause a tower. Tune into this tower. I think mostly this is like an amazing tower. This doesn't bring any fear at all. I feel like this, like the more, there's something about choosing yourself, choosing to be yourself, being aligned with your core frequency, being aligned as in tuning into your energetic core energy, right as it is, accepting who you are today, that complex mixture. You take the good, you take the bad, you take the moment, there you have the facts of life. So that, like, not just trying to, I'm only going to take the good things, about, no, like accepting all aspects of you and being like, that's me. That's me. I'm choosing me. I am moving forward as me energetically. I'm aligned with my core frequency. My thoughts are aligned with my core frequency. My words, my communication is aligned with my core frequency, and my actions on all fronts. Years ago, about 30 years ago. I heard this I heard about someone, a journalist who interviewed Gandhi's wife. And it said how, Gandhi goes before crowds, stands before crowds, and never has notes, no prompter that he's reading off, no notes handwritten. He speaks, and such wisdom, such amazing wisdom, and yet he never has notes. He doesn't contradict himself. How does he do that? And Gandhi's wife, wish I knew her name instead of calling her Gandhi's wife. I think you know what I mean. Anyway, she said, for you and I, we think one thing, say another, and do a third. For Gandhi, all three are the same. And that stuck with me because I agree. At that time, my thoughts, my words, and my actions, none of them matched up. They were all very different. I had a very different inner thought world than the one I was expressing was very fake and not truthful. And then the deeds, that my actions were messed up. So it's been a personal desire to be aligned. And I'm even adding your spiritual core energetic frequency, your thoughts, your words, your deeds. When they all align, I know when I'm in alignment, I feel fantastic. And it's not about being perfect and being aligned forever. And that once you achieve that, then it's perfection. It's more like a balancing game. And you wobble and get out of alignment, and you just keep refining your alignment, refining your alignment with the new energies. And someone who can achieve a lot enlightenment and alignment, and then the next second go out. So it's not about I got there, done. It's just a way of being. So anyway, lots of messages coming through today. So what I'm seeing is that in today's energy, really being yourself, choosing the way you perceive yourself, and make that the most important. How others perceive you, not as important. And it's going to create some type of tower. It's going to create some type of mind-blowing, I think it's due to what I'm reading is that due to your alignment today, being fully, just like, I'm going to just treat this as a scientific experiment. I'm going to be fully myself. I'm going to dress how I want to dress. I'm going to be more myself, give myself permission to be myself, give myself a vacation from caring about how others perceive me, and focus on how do I want to show up? When my head hits the pillow at the end of the day, I want to really like who I am. And so that how I feel about myself is the only thing that matters. And there's something that happens with your alignment today. This might be in the next couple days type of energy, but it brings you out of this real deep healing that you've been doing. It helps you come back out. So with healing, I'm seeing a deep spiraling within that you might have been doing for quite a while, trying to find your answers within. And there's something about this that starts shift. And so you start coming back out and out into the world with the new you at the new energy frequency. Wow. Okay. So, in the center of your reading, your higher self is in the energy of Six of Swords, moving away, moving to calmer waters. That's what I feel like this is doing. This is whatever's happening in the next day or so, if you so choose to be aligned with who you are, choose yourself, and allow kind of showing yourself what being in alignment, how being in alignment, how powerful, how empowering, how that's where all the power is. Being yourself, being present. It feels like it's an interchange that you will carry around. You might not see it yet outside of you, but it feels like such a powerful internal shift that allows you to move away and move to calmer waters. So it will have an external three-dimensional manifestation as you come out of your healing with this new you energy. It seems like you will be moving away from previous cycle energies. You might physically need to move or be moving, not need to. But as an energetic requirement is what I'm talking about, that wherever you've been, your energy might shift so much that there's a better place for you. That's a better fit. That's more abundant. Things are calmer. Things are a better match. If you fear change, what would help ease this is, instead of this is change, I'm so scared, it's unfamiliar, so it makes me uncomfortable and fearful and anxious. Those are all valid feelings. Instead, maybe you can soothe yourself with, I'm going on an adventure. I'm gonna move to a new place, gonna meet new people, going on an adventure. New me, new goofy or whatever, very expressive, very willing to be myself kind of person. And I'm gonna meet others who also want to be themselves, who are kind and caring, who mirror what I find my values. And by moving away from these type of energies, you end a nightmare. You realize that you've been the warden, that you had the key all the time to move away. I'm not saying that you should have moved away sooner. Everything is happening just as it should. But that nobody else had power over you. No one was holding you back. You might have perceived it that way, but you show yourself that you are oh, that's it. Oh, you are. You show yourself, I am, and the strength and the power of I am. Dang. I like today's message. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, this is going to come the more you move towards your new life and the more you let go of the nightmare and release past cycles that are no longer in your energy, you're going to feel all sorts of connections with your higher self, with your future master self, with guides, loved ones who've crossed. Boy, there are a lot of loved ones who've crossed that are here. Ancestors. You might have experienced in your lifetime a feeling that nobody has your back, or you've thought the way people perceive you, the limited way people perceive you. And okay, so this comes from childhood. This is a wound, a way of being where, as a child, you were born into a family where at least one of your parents, if not both, the way they raised you was, to me, I read it as behavior modification, that they withhold affection, and it was all about getting you to behave in a certain way, to not cry, to not, do this, to not do. It's about getting you, just like steering you. And it's not a childhood that was based on, I love you just as you are. This is amazing. You are an individual, unique human being. Instead, I'm getting that parent or parents viewed you as an extension of themselves, that they had permission to control, that their job was to control, to steer, to tell you what to do. And I'm also getting that they had a perception of you. So this goes for anybody who felt like a black sheep of the family, as well as the golden child of the family. Both come with this perception of how the parent sees you that becomes concrete in how the parent perceives you, and unchangeable no matter what you do. So the golden child, no matter what the golden child did, there's still this, like, I love you, you're amazing, there you can do no wrong, which messes with their perception, because everybody else is in the world is like, what? It's very confusing, because you can do no wrong at home around your parent or parents, but other people are, because your parent doesn't check you and just like, you're amazing, you can do anything. That behavior does not work out in the real world. You get checked. You're not allowed to behave horribly. Or if you were the black sheep of the family, you can do no right. Nothing that you do is right. You're a mess. You're not behaving in a way. I'm not saying these are true. I'm saying that, but to the parent or parents, you're not moving right. You're not right. It doesn't even feel like they could really know why, or communicate in a way, but the black sheep becomes the person who all of the parents' own issues and unhealed traumas goes on to that person and projects it out. And so with both energies, it's about your projection, how you are seen in the family, especially with the black sheep family. I'm tuning into that, especially if you spend a lot of time in childhood, you depend on your parents, you depend physically for your life, for your, not just for food, shelter, emotional support. And if a parent disapproves of you and withholds affection and to try to get you and manipulates you to just behave in a certain way, then one of the reactions could be spending a lot of time trying to change that projection, because whenever you're in front of them, you can feel that there's a projection of the worst aspects of who you are. Some of them might be true. Some of them are fabricated. Some of them are projections of them, and they get all mixed up. And it's very confusing because people keep showing you more and more people, and you agree. You're like, well, then that must be who I am. Oh, so my job is to stay alive so I can get affection, so I can get food, so I can be cared for, so I can try to be, loved, is to change who I am, change their mind. And so we can change that projection. And it becomes your chore, your job. Your life depends on it. So after practicing that for the first 20, 18 years of life, that to you is what love is those wonderful feelings you might get at the beginning of a relationship, but constantly you find someone who also, you probably found someone who also treated you that way, eventually put that projection out and created a concrete version of who you are. And it's the worst aspects. And again, some of it's true. That's why it's so confusing. Some of it is, yes, those are crappy things about me, or things that I think everybody would agree are less desirable. It's mixed with not truths, exaggerations, their own projections onto you, and it becomes very confusing where you end and where the projection and how they are seeing you in such a poor light. So what I'm getting, that what you've been releasing is everybody's projected version of you, and you've been deciding to let go of people who they've made up their minds. That projection of you, whenever you're around them, they can't see your change, they can't see evolution, they can't see anything good or positive about you. They have got a concrete version of who you are, and it doesn't matter what you do, they will always see you through that lens. To be fair, you probably do this as well. Are there people that you've created a concrete version of who they are? And so it's painful to be around each other because there's no acknowledgement of change. So anyway, it looks like you've been letting go of how others perceive you, that's not a game you want to play anymore. You are focusing on how you perceive yourself. That's where all your power is. And that's what you've been healing, is giving yourself permission to be yourself, to love yourself, to heal, to release those who have concrete versions projected onto you. You can't change that. You can't. It's the harder you try, the more they defend their version of you. Also, I feel like as this unravels, this lesson, you'll realize your matches and where you are sure you know who people are. Maybe forgiveness is letting go of those horrible versions and creating, I'm not sure what that is. This isn't so, but I feel like we're at that first step of realizing that we don't like when people do it to us. And that's enough for now to ask ourselves the question, how can we release this so we don't perpetuate this type of way of being? Because we don't enjoy having people who've made up their mind who we are, and that's all we see. It's painful to be around someone who can't see you, or can't see you fully, or they've made up their mind and there's nothing you can do. You can feel that there's a lack of any opportunity for change. And yeah. All right. So your challenge right now is 5 of Cups. Yeah. Is letting go of the people who have those concrete versions of ourselves. It's painful. It's painful. It's also an addiction to try to get others to change their perception of you. You've got a lot of momentum and time in your life spent to trying to get people to see you anything other than all the limitations. Yeah, you might be some of that too, but that's not all of who you are. There's a forgiveness, a letting go, but it's painful because those people have rejected you, and rejection breeds obsession. So they're constant, starting with parents, that type of energy. You need to prove that you have worth. You need to prove that you have value. And so you turn yourself into knots to try to become the person, be that image. And you could never win them over because they've already decided long ago that you are a list. You are already, the judgment's in their mind. You can't change it. And so, but there's a grief to that because there's a lot of momentum in this type of behavior, trying to prove yourself, trying to change someone's mind. So the challenge is to realize that you can find satisfaction. You can get out of this cycle. You can remove yourself from this way of being. And there's a releasing of, I think once you start seeing it in these different ways, then it makes it easier to let go of some of the pain. Because what I'm also getting is that the parents and anybody who is involved in this type of behavior, it feels very unconscious, though it might lead to painful conscious behaviors and actions and words. But they're either unwilling or they're unable. They're not meant to, at this time, they're not meant to change. But you took the red pill, you see what's going on, and you're making choices for yourself that this way is exhausting. I'm never going to change these people's mind without me. That's why I feel so exhausted when I'm around them. That's why I don't feel good intuitively when I'm around them. I don't feel comfortable or peaceful or cared for or loved. There's nothing wrong with you. That's just it's because that's how they're perceiving you. There's no loving energy coming back. Your challenge is to see that nobody has blocked your blessings. That what's happening now is by you aligning with yourself and being in full alignment with your core energy frequency. That's spiritual alignment with your thoughts, with your words and your actions, that you will show yourself how to open up. What is this energy? It's once you realize your own power and the power that aligning with your own core energy frequency gives you, allows you, that it's like opening up an high, like a highway of blessings. Because you are blessings. I am blessed. I am blessings. You are blessed. You are worthy. There's nothing that you need to do. There's no one out there you need to convince of your worthiness other than yourself. And I feel like that's what you're tapping into. We're not talking about ego. It's talking about being willing to really see and embody all of who you are and accept all of who you are and allow your blessings to come in. So, all right. That was really long. Do I do a meditation? Yeah, let's do a little guided meditation. So anyway, I just want to, since I share some psychic tools on my channel, in my readings, I just want to create a conscious agreement with all of you who are watching these videos, who like learning some psychic tools. The conscious agreement that I have, these are not my tools. These are either amalgam of tools that others have taught me, that I've learned. And oftentimes when I go into these guided meditations, I'm just translating what the divine is showing me to release. And I'm just translating what the healing is. I don't own these tools. These are free to everyone. You are welcome to completely discard the psychic tool, any tool that I share. You are welcome to alter it to make it more fit for you, or take it as it is. You are welcome to pass it on to others if you find value and that it's helpful. You can do whatever you want. This is not going to switch, do whatever you want. There's one little, any tool is not good or bad. It's just a tool. It is how the user, the wielder of the tool uses it that creates whether it's good or bad intentions. So any of these tools, it is my hope, of course, that everybody uses these tools for good, for their own personal development and growth, and the growth of everybody, for the highest and greatest good. And just a reminder that karma, so using these tools with the best intentions creates positive karma, and using tools with negative intent, user beware kind of thing. So that's what my guides wanted to share. Okay. So with that being said, let's find a comfortable place where you can close your eyes and focus on your own energies. So you can sit or lie down. And when you get to that comfortable place, go ahead and close your eyes. Find the way to the center of your own head, clearing that space in between your ears. This is where your command center. This is you owning the center of headspace and clearing out, just broom away anything that feels dense, anything that feels not you, anything that's out of present time. Don't forget to broom below you, behind you, kind of that back of the headspace. Nice. All right. I'm also getting to create a new grounding cord in present time. So just release your grounding cord and explode it and create a brand new grounding cord from that base chakra where you're sitting all the way down to the center of earth. You might feel a lovely hello back as the earth sends loving, supportive, grounding energy back up to you. And set that grounding cord on maximum release. So anything that you want to release during this guided meditation, you can just throw it down that grounding cord and the earth will recycle it into something wonderful. All right, from that center of headspace, I want you to imagine a wall in front of you. And this wall was activated when you were a child. This is the wall that projections of who you are were projected on. These images, limitations, half-truths, focusing on the lack, your limitations, without empathy or care. And just notice this wall in front of you. Notice how you feel about it. Does it make you anxious? Does it make you want to change that wall? Is it hard to just look at it consciously? What type of wall does this look like? Is it full of dense, dark energies? Projections of the people around you, what they don't want to see about themselves and how they project that onto you. Is the wall, how does that wall look? Does it look really tall, like impossibly tall to climb and get around? Is it wide? Does it go like the Great Wall of China? It's so long you can't get around it. You can't dig underneath it. See how the person on the other side of the wall, it makes it hard for them. It makes it hard for you to even see them through their projections, their limited projections of you. It makes it really hard to connect with them. Impossible. Because they are creating a wall of stalemate, of stuck, of no change, of the worst aspects of judgment, of pain, of lack, of hurt, of weakness, of inabilities. Notice also how you start adding to a wall of how you perceive them. You're trying to change that wall, trying to change how they perceive you. Do you see how there's a part of you that's like trying to clean that wall, trying to make it different, trying to right it, trying to break through it, there's just all sorts of efforts, and notice how exhausting these efforts are. And it's like, just as you make a change or try to make a change, the wall goes right back to, and maybe even worse, a worse perspective. Like the more you try to change this projection, the more exhausted you get, the more depleted you get. And the more depleted and exhausted you get, the more you believe that the wall must be true then. And start matching that energy. Right now, if you would like to release any frustration, any fear, any resentment, any pain that this type of behavior has caused, you can just release it down your grounding cord. Also, the obsession with getting that view, the person on the other side of the wall, to perceive you in another way, to constantly work on this wall, to constantly do whatever you can, because originally this was your survival was based. You were dependent on the person who was creating these projections, and it's very painful and scary because it messed with your survival. And do you see how it created a momentum of this type of behavior, of needing to prove yourself, of trying to change that perception? And you give your energy away to this person, and the exchange is not equal. You give and give to this person to try to change their perspective on that projection, to no avail. They're not going to change. What I'm seeing is a decision. You can decide, I'm no longer going to try to change others' perspectives of me when they have already created the final judgment of who I am. How do you want to symbolize that? Do you want to imagine like a clock? Anyone who's clocked into a job, just clock out like I think I'm done. Or you can put in your final notice, like this is not worth my time. I'm going to work on me. I'm going to do anything else other than this. Because once you see how futile this is, it makes it easy to shift and become more aligned with who you are and who you want to be. I'm also seeing now, let's go ahead and clear that image out and let that fade. And now imagine someone that you are positive that you have created a concrete projection of them. You are positive they are the worst people ever. They are, maybe not choose your worst enemy, that might be difficult, but someone you see as an enemy, someone you see as definitely not on your side, someone who will not change by your perception, who cannot change, who you have decided they are who they are. Notice that wall that you have created or maybe co-created with this person. Notice how much of what's coming out and creating that wall comes from you, that you have projected onto this wall. An inability to change, fear, separateness, difference. It's okay if this is difficult. Let go of being sure that they will never change. This is not clearing away defenses. This is not allowing this person access to your energy. If anything, it is taking back your energy. You're no longer going to spend time projecting and thinking about and keeping this wall maintained. Instead, what are you doing? What can you do to shift? What I'm seeing is you can visualize this wall as more plexiglass, that you can see them clearly. This plexiglass wall denotes a decision that I no longer wish to connect with this person and their energy. I want to see them clearly. I am no longer going to send energy this way. I am safe from this energy. I am separated from this energy. And with that, though, I no longer need to think about them and project any type of concrete energy that they are this, they are that. I'm seeing there's a bit of karma in this type of behavior. And so it's not only important to see how others have created this and this behavior within you, but also seeing how you do this to others is also a key. That on the other side of that plexiglass wall, that you wish them well, you wish them success. You're free from the burden of trying to convince them or trying to remind yourself of the pain. Now, clearing these images away, I want you to imagine a mirror in front of you and see yourself, see your energy out in front of you, facing your own energy, facing your own reflection, just as it is. See, sense, feel your own energy. Release down that grounding cord, anything that's not yours, anything that's a projection, someone else's limited view of who you are. Watch in that mirror as you release and allow the wall within to crumble. Who you are, that's not who others have projected you to be, and their limitations allow that energy just to crumble. Big, like walls all in and through your system, just falling down, structures of belief systems, of limitations, of lack. And just allow those pieces to crumble down your grounding cord. Feel how Earth is celebrating and taking those crumbled energies and turning them into truth and empowerment and joy and celebration. Look at yourself in the mirror. This is what matters. This is how, at the end of the day, at the end of each day, every moment, this is the projection that's most potent and powerful, how you see yourself. Spend more time in alignment with seeing yourself right as you are, without judgments, without needing to prove yourself or validate who you are. You are. Look in that mirror. I am. I am that I am. I'm here. I am. What other I am statements? I am healing. I am powerful. I am empowered. I am joy. I am love. I am companionship. I am belonging. I am abundance. I am ease and flow. I am myself. I am happiest when I am myself. Notice how you feel now, and if there's any difference between where you started at the beginning of the reading or the beginning of the meditation and where you are now. This is where your energy goes instead of a chronic, habitual trying to change someone else's projection onto you. Instead, you and how you feel about yourself is the number one person. You're no longer playing that game. You're giving your energy back to you so you can direct it in something that matches more directly where your core frequency, what you value, what you find important, what you want to see grow in this world, what you want to experience. All right, and when you're ready, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, stretch your body, come back into the room, open your eyes. So, all right, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment. I love your comments. I love getting to know all of you through the comments. I do want to say that if you don't feel comfortable commenting for whatever reason, know that I can feel there are lots of people who watch my readings and don't comment, and that is a-okay. Know that I can feel your energies as well, and you are appreciated and cared for, and I'm glad that you're here. So you don't have to comment to receive my appreciation, and you don't even have to thumbs up. I'd appreciate that, but you are seen as and appreciated as well. And if you have been subscribed already, if you could go ahead and do that so I can grow my channel, and you get more of these type of readings in your feed. So, all right, take care. Hope you have a great day. Bye.